your host, MISHUMA, SABA, M.SABA, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace, 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 peace. And welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast show. And I am your host, MISHUMA, SABA, M.SABA. And this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. How y'all doing this evening? You know, every time y'all catch me when the show coming on, I'm just listening to the theme music, man. That it bumps so heavily, you know what I'm saying? It just be banging, you know what I mean? Y'all still use that word, it be banging. Definitely got a nice, smooth intro. But welcome to the show, Coffee Talk Podcast. Again, I'm your host, MISHUMA SABA. And we're here tonight because it's Wednesday night and it's our Wednesday night sports edition. However, we're going to shake it up just a little bit because there's been a lot of other things popping off into the news that I thought I would like to include in our show tonight. But yeah, we definitely going to still give you a little bit of sports flavor. You know, we got to keep that going for our die-hard supporters of Wednesday night sports edition here with Coffee Talk Podcast. But listen, if you're new to the show, I'll just go ahead and let you know we never start the show without giving it its flavor. That's right. If you're new to the show, we never start our show without giving it its flavor. So tonight's flavor here at Coffee Talk Podcast is the Tyler Winery from Santa Barbara County. It's a white Chardonnay. So that's what we're giving the flavor to all white wines tonight. So it's a white Chardonnay from 2020, actually. So it's 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? It has detailed scents of lemon peel. It has cream fache with a hazelnut and a flower type texture. It's a satiny texture with an energetic finish. So tonight's wine is definitely white wine, and that wine is the Tyler Winery, Santa Barbara County Chardonnay white wine. So that's the flavor for tonight. So tonight, come on in, pour yourself some wine, some water, a smoothie, a beer, whatever you do where you at. But come on in, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Welcome to our humble home here at Coffee Talk Podcast. All right, so listen, let's go ahead and dive right in. Oops, somebody just told me that we can never start the show without the wise words. Never, never, never start the show without the wise words. You know, you get violated around these parts, you know. All right. So the wise words for the night is this. We're going to give a big shout out to one of our ancestors, one of our people, legendary queen, beautiful, electric. Uh, did I say beautiful? I'll say it again because she's that much. So we're going to definitely give our wise words. Our wise words for the night is from actress Miss Lena Horne. And what Lena Horne once said was this. Lena Horne said, "You wouldn't be allowed to get on a particular bus, but you'll be asked to sign an autograph. You wouldn't be allowed to get on a particular bus, but you will be asked to sign an autograph." That's Miss Lena Horne. Those are the wise words here at Coffee Talk Podcast for the night. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on in. And to our viewers, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for tuning in. We see you. Big love and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you, man. It means a lot. But listen, tonight we're going to talk about the New Jersey Nets basketball, and we're going to talk about that in the framework of I'm not happy with how the narrative is being construed. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about that, but let me just go down our summary of events that we're gonna or segments that we're gonna have tonight. After we talk about the New Jersey Nets, we're gonna go in and talk about an article that was going through social media called from BET Lifestyle. That's right, BET, the television show. They have a social media site or an article, I should say, from BET Lifestyle. So that's part of their social network or magazine company, we used to say. But they're talking about Nick Cannon. And there were some things, the way the verbiage was set up about Nick Cannon that I took offense to. So I want to go ahead and address that. We want to break that down. So we're going to talk about that. I definitely want to give a big shout out to my Minnesota Twins baseball team representing my hometown of the Twin Cities. Definitely. And they in first place. We're going to do that. And then we're going to finish up with the queen right there, Macy Gray. We're going to talk about it, man. Tune on in, leave a comment, hit the like button, share the video, tell a friend we on right now, Coffee Talk Podcast. Come on to the show. Talk about it. Talk about it. You also could be a guest. Let me know just by hitting the comment and saying pop you into the studio and we'll shoot you a link. And you could come in also and talk about Macy Gray's comments because we definitely gonna break that down, right? All right, so check it. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So have you noticed that when you watch the sports shows, ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, all these dudes, man, right? They carry this narrative right now, currently, about the New Jersey Nets. And I'm gonna show you how the narrative goes. The narrative goes like this. First, when Jay-Z helped by buying a minority share. I hate that word minority, but we're gonna just say it for business purposes. A minority share of the Brooklyn Nets, right? Part of it was to help change that area, and part of it was to bring in the Barclays Center. So when they brought in the Barclays Center, the gentrification started, blah, 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 blah. And so the narrative wasn't on ownership, it was on Jay-Z, you know. They didn't really say he was the owner. They pointed it at Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z left, moved on to bigger things. He's over there doing the entertainment for the Super Bowl and things like that, right? As well as being a billionaire, right? So then after Jay-Z, the next person that they blame or control this narrative to blame regarding the New York Nets and their affiliates is James Harden. James Harden, oh, you're a problem. So James Harden left the organization. The narrative was James Harden's a problem. Then they had the narrative of, oh, we got Kyrie Irving. He don't want to act right. He don't want to get the jab. He don't want to do this. He don't want to do that. And they trying to paint these three brothers, as you can see, in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Then it goes to KD, Kevin Durant. Oh, Kevin Durant, he wants to be traded. Kevin Durant is not a leader. He's not this. He's not that. He'll never be anything. His two MVP championships that he won with Golden State, they don't count. They don't count. Golden State when they beat LeBron, man. Come on. Cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. The little pretty boy shooting half court guy. You only had one good series. How long have you been playing in the NBA in the finals? Cut it out. We remember Andre Iguodala winning the MVP, and then Kevin Durant winning the other two. Cut it out till you finally get one. The rest of the team played like bums. And I'm just being honest, and I'm not mad at the chef because here at Coffee Talk, we don't do no negative. But we're gonna call it for a spade for what it is, a spade, a spade. These organizations be giving it who they want to give it to, who they want to be the lucky charm guy, who they want to be the face of the NBA. And so now we have this issue with the New Jersey Nets and the players that just left again, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. And I say to myself, that's odd. All these people, Jay-Z included, left that organization. Yet when you turn on the old media, because we known as the new media, we're gonna tell it straight. They have the narrative, oh, it was those brothers' problems. So I went ahead and I did some research. That's what I like to do. So I went back and I said, well, who owns the New Jersey? No, I'm sorry. Did I say the New Jersey Nets? Yeah, they're the Brooklyn Nets. Same team. They just relocated. But I said, well, who owns the Brooklyn Nets? And it's this guy by the name of Joseph Tsai from Taiwan, right? He bought the team for $2.35 billion. And he bought the team in the year of starting the year of 2019. It was in transition from year 2018 to 2019. He stepped in and he bought the Brooklyn Nets from then owner, Russian owner Mikhail Prokofov. Mikhail Prokofov had sold 49% of the team to Joseph Tsai. Joseph Tsai also purchased the Barclays Center. So it got me to thinking, okay, I'm like, so, they've been going through this transition for the last 3 years because we're now in the year 2022. They haven't made no impact in the playoffs those 3 years. I went ahead and did a little bit more digging. I said, well, let me go ahead and pull up the rosters of the Brooklyn Nets 2018-2019 season. I want to see who they stars were. Jared Allen, Chris LeVert, Spencer Dunwoody, D'Angelo Russell. In that year, D'Angelo Russell was an NBA All-Star, played his ass off. Now with my Minnesota Timberwolves, of course. But when you say those four guys, Jared Allen, Chris LeVert, Spencer Dunwoody, D'Lo Russell, none of those four are there either. Jay-Z, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. So how can it be the brothers' problems that they're not there? Why can't we just hold accountable, since we're talking sports, leadership? Who's the damn GM over there? I didn't even want to do the homework. Somebody leave me a comment on who's the GM of the Brooklyn Nets. You got I forgot the Steve Nash as the head coach. Kyrie Irving don't get along with him. Kyrie Irving already said that, man, we might as well run our own practices. Because that shows that the coach ain't shit. Let's call it how we see it. Excuse our language. This is Coffee Talk Podcast. You know, this is us for us. We call it straight. So why do we don't never blame the organization? But the news media said, well, let's go ahead and blame the athletes, the entertainers. We want to make sure that Mr. Joseph Tsai, when he pays his $2.335 billion for the next 3 years, be smooth sailing. So we're not going to put no narrative on the team. Oh, the Nets ain't the problem. It's the players. Happen to be the black players. That's my problem with the New Jersey Nets right now. Tell me how you feel. Go ahead and leave a comment. Go ahead and leave a comment on what your thoughts are with the Brooklyn Nets. How are they going to be now? Do you think Kyrie Irving's going to go ahead and move away and take the $6 million minimum to go play with LeBron? Kevin Durant asking for a trade? The teams out there don't have enough? Or could it be that they just want to make an example of Kevin Durant because they need to have a narrative on somebody? Not the organization. Mikhail Prokofov, you only owned it for such a small period of time before you sold them. I get it. I can't knock a man's hustle. What are y'all doing over there in Brooklyn? What are y'all doing? You want to make the playoffs? Do you want to consistently make the playoffs? Do you want to bump the New York Knicks out the way while the New York Knicks are down? And so that you can be the team of the city? You don't want to be like the Mets. Let us know what your thoughts are on the New Jersey Nets and if the narrative should be more blamed on their organization instead of the players that they have lost. Again, players' names that they have lost over the last few years, here the last 3 years is Jared Allen, All Star, Chris Levert, All Star, Spencer Dunwoody, All Star, D'Angelo Russell, All Star, James Harden, Hall of Famer, Kyrie Irving, Hall of Famer, Kevin Durant, Hall of Famer, and Jay Z, billionaire. Is it our people's fault? Whose fault is it? Let's start to look at the New Jersey Nets. All right. So that's the end of that segment. We're going to get ready to go forward and talk about the BET lifestyle article and what they actually said about Nick Cannon. I didn't think it was cool at all. And we're going to definitely talk about it. So what I'm going to do is hit you with a 30-second commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to be talking about BET lifestyle article written about Nick Cannon. Stay tuned. Tell your friends. We are on right now Coffee Talk Podcast with your host, MISHUMA SABA, M. SABA. And this is our cultural variety podcast show. Peace, 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 peace. And welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast. This is the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. This is our Wednesday night sports edition. And I am your host, MISHUMA SABA, M. SABA. And this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. All right, so we just got done talking about the Brooklyn Nets. I kept saying the New Jersey Nets, same team. So go ahead and just deal with it. You know how we do. But let's go ahead and talk about our second segment tonight. I was scrolling through Facebook, man, or wasn't Facebook, but I was scrolling through Chrome, and I had caught the article from BET Lifestyle, and it was titled. This article was titled, "Nick Cannon wants all his children to be friends if all the moms don't quite agree." I'm gonna read that again and we're gonna break this down because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Nick Cannon wants all his children to be friends if all the moms don't quite agree. First of all, I understand that whoever wrote the article from BET Lifestyle, whatever, that's their verbiage. Let's say that first. But there's some things that stood out to me as a man that I didn't appreciate, and I want to defend men towards that bullshit ass narrative that I just read. Let's go ahead and point it out. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about BET, man. BET, Black Entertainment Television is not even owned by black folks anymore. Okay. But y'all still getting sucked into the BET. I get it. I get it. Then they write this article on the brother Nick Cannon, right? And it says that Nick Cannon wants his children to be friends. That's the problem I got. What the F fried chicken you mean? Friends. They're brothers and sisters. I don't care if there's 3, 4, 5 baby mamas that Nick Cannon has. That man's children are brothers and sisters because of him. Why do I say that? I say that because of the disrespect cannot continue towards men. You treat us bad. You treat us disrespectful. Treat us as if we're just D. That's right. So we can lay down with you, have kids, but then all of a sudden we don't have no rights. What do you mean by rights? By offending a man, telling a man that his children are only friends with each other. That's the disrespect we're talking about. That is disrespectful. And if real men don't stand up and talk about it, they'll keep walking on us like we some damn bath rug. Love to lay down with us, but as soon as you stand up, they give you hell. Everybody. Nick Cannon's children ain't friends with one another. Them is brothers and sisters. Whether the moms agree or not, the hell with them. If I have a child by one woman and a child by another woman, I ain't got to ask her punk ass if they brothers and sisters. They brothers and sisters because they came from man. They came from their father. And their mother carried them for 9 months. Tell me where I'm wrong at. Tell me where I'm not speaking truth. Brothers and sisters. Ever call my children when you see each other friends of each other? That's what they was talking about on this BET Lifestyle article about Nick Cannon. And then even if the mothers don't agree. I ain't gotta ask you who my 2 kids are to me. If they're my kids, it's my job as a parent to get them to know one another. To get them to both receive the understanding of the values that their father passed down to them. That's my job. No, they're not friends. They're brother and sister. Leave a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are with BET Lifestyle article talking about Nick Cannon wants all his children to be friends if all the mothers don't quite agree. Leave your comments on what you think about that. No doubt. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you right now for tuning into the show, Coffee Talk Podcast. We're getting ready to go into our third segment. And that is, I just want to go ahead and give a big shout out. Big shout out to the Minnesota Twins, Major League Baseball, American League Central Division leaders right now. And the reason why I'm giving them props right now is because my Minnesota Twins haven't been this deep in July. Well, this early in July, I should say, because it's only July 6th. But this early in July, this far off in first place. Right now, we got a 4.5 game first place in the Central Division of Major League Baseball, followed by the Cleveland Guardians. You know, they no longer call them the Cleveland Indians no more, out of respect for the Native Americans. Go ahead and leave a comment on how you feel about the Cleveland Indians changing their names to the Cleveland Guardians. Did the name fit? Do you think that being called Cleveland Indians was offensive? Go ahead and leave your comments, man. We appreciate everybody's comments here at the show, and we may even read a few. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and leave your comments, though. Thank you for tuning in to the show. But again, big shout out to the Minnesota Twins, American League leaders in the Central Division. We got a 4.5 game lead over the Cleveland Guardians. I want to give a big shout out to our roster: Luis Reyes, Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, Max Kepler, Jorge Palenko, Alex Krylov, Trevor Larnach, Gary Sanchez, Gio Urcela, and Nick Gordon. We ride with y'all. Twin Cities, stand up. You already know what it is. Twin Cities, stand up. So that's what it is here. Now listen, what we're gonna do, man, is we want to go ahead and again, we're waiting for more people to come on in and tune in as we get ready to end the show. But this is gonna be the big segment of the night. We're gonna go ahead and talk about Miss Macy Gray, the beautiful Miss Macy Gray, as you can see up there in the right corner, right there, or the left corner, depending on where your TV is at. We're gonna go ahead and definitely talk about Macy Gray. So go grab your girlfriend, let her know that they getting ready to do the Macy Gray conversation. We're gonna talk about the Macy Gray conversation. and all the flack that she's receiving. So go ahead, call a girlfriend, let her know Coffee Talk Podcast is on. At the end of the show, make sure you hit the like button, share the share button. Make sure you subscribe. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? You know what I mean? I really would appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and let us know that you're down. Are you down? Are you really down? Coffee Talk Podcast. So I'm gonna hit you with a 30-second commercial break. And when we get back, we'll be talking about Macy Gray. Peace, 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 and welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast. This is the Cultural Variety Podcast Show, and I am your host, MISHUMA SABA, M.SABA, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast Show. So check it. Big news right now in the social media airwaves. Macy Gray. Macy Gray, the beloved R&B singer, adult alternative punk rock neo soul singer and actress. She was actress in Training Day. You know what I'm saying? Where she had one of the roles where the cops were stealing some shit out of her house. But yeah, Macy Gray, she was just in the media like last winter, man. I think it was for the Super Bowl performance. No, that was Snoop Dogg and them. It might have been for the NBA All-Star game, I want to say. Let me know which one it was, where they asked her to sing the national anthem. And you know, Macy has that raspy voice. I'm Macy Grace. You know, that type of voice. And it's a beautiful voice, man, for real. But you know, people at the All-Star game, you know how bourgeois people want to get sometimes, man. And so they didn't like how she sung the American anthem. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But tonight, she got through that bullshit. Excuse me, something was in my mouth, so I got it out. But tonight we're gonna talk about Macy Gray, man. So Macy Gray's on the Pierce Morgan show, right? She's on the Pierce Morgan show the other day. And she goes ahead and she says, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna be hated for saying this, but I gotta speak my mind. I gotta say how I feel. I gotta just say what it is. And she stated that people that go get surgeries to make themselves a woman can never be a woman. Can never, how should I say this? Spiritually connection. Be a woman. And so now Macy Gray is getting the little bullshit fanfare they over here sending her you know, evil posts and all this and shit, man. Move on with that. Um First of all, let's say this, man. Babylon is definitely falling. Let's say that, man. Babylon falling. You know, we're gonna say that first. And then we're gonna say, man, no, people want to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your freedom of speech. So you mean to tell me a woman, right? Because I'm not a woman, as you can see, of course. A woman is telling a nation that no matter what surgeries you get to be trans or whatever you may be, you still ain't a woman. And y'all attack her for that? Where is she lying at? I mean, we can get into the scientific parts of it, right? We can get into the XY chromosomes and all that, right? Where is she lying at? That's a woman. See, so recently we've been getting carried away with the US government or their news media outlets or their these feminist movements and all that, trying to tell what is best for a woman. The Roe versus Wade last week being overturned after what, 30, 40 years? Now you're going to get mad at a woman telling you what a woman really is? Babylon falling. They want to keep all of this new, soft, sensitive bullshit going. They want truth to be exiled. We over here having a problem with Macy Gray speaking truth. Why? Because it hurt my feelings. Oh, it hurt my feelings. Her comments wasn't transphobic, but she was telling it like it is. And why is there got to be a problem with that? Because it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. Babylon falling. So here at Coffee Talk Podcast, man, we just want to go ahead and tilt our hat and let Macy Gray know that we are supporting you, Queen, and you ain't no dummy. So when their media this week continues to try to attack your statements, let them know that we appreciate you. You ain't no flunky out here. Just to let you know, Macy Gray also had one of the best-selling albums called On How Life Is. Her debut studio album back on July 1st, 1999, sold 3.4 million copies and 7 million copies worldwide. So we know who you are, Macy Gray. You're doing a good job, Queen. You are a great, phenomenal actress. And I like your voice. Don't let nobody tease you about your voice, Queen. Macy Gray is also an intelligent Black woman because she did get her degree from the University of Southern California. So when you're talking about her voice, make sure you don't forget to mention that. Very educated sister. So her comments was valid. You are not a woman just because you go buy some parts. It ain't Cadillac just because you went and bought a couple parts. Yeah, it might have been a Cadillac back in 1978, but that shit barely hold together because it's not original. So that's just all we want to say tonight here at Coffee Talk Podcast. We'd like to go ahead and thank you for tuning into the show. We really appreciate it. And man, we having a wonderful time. We got more episodes coming throughout the month of July. I would like to go ahead and tell you them, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and let it just hit you 3 days a week like we do. Coffee's Talk Style. Coffee Talk Podcast, the cultural variety podcast show, which is airs 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and alternate Friday, Saturday nights. On Monday, we give you the cultural studies night. We like to go ahead and read, do spoken word, go ahead and give props to our authors, our scientists, our doctors, our scholars. And then on Wednesday night, it's definitely sports night. We don't care about who won and lost a game. We like to talk about the back parts of the back businesses of what our athletes have to go through dealing with the world of sports and entertainment. That's what we do. And then Friday and Saturday, one of those alternate days, you know, you got to be looking out. But those days, we like to just get together. We like to have a guest. We like to have 10-question Q&A. We like to have fun. We like to laugh. We like to joke. We like to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? This is Coffee Talk Podcast, the livest podcast and the most truest podcast out right now. Coffee Talk Podcast, your cultural variety podcast show. I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the universal peace sign. And again, thank you for supporting the show. We'll see y'all next weekend. This weekend coming up. We out.